This is the Business Breakfast on the UAE's #1 talk radio station.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Right, somehow we're in the second half of Ramadan and the Eid holidays are just around the corner. We are wondering, is it too late, now that we know what dates they're going to be, to bag a bargain flight? Is it too late to bag a flight, full stop? Speaking to Nikki Younger of Travel Counsellors. Morning, Nikki.
Good morning.
So the Eid holiday this time is crossing over with the school holidays.
Correct, yes.
What does that mean for demand?
Huge demand, absolutely enormous. Compared to this time last year, if we look at the Eid dates last year compared to now, we've doubled in sales here at Travel Counsellors, which is
Are
huge.
you putting that down just to the holiday combo?
I think largely, yes. It's a fantastic opportunity for parents to take some annual leave without having to take more days than they need to, and sort of maximise their annual leave and save some for later in the year. And I think now there's just a lot more flight options as well. Some local airlines like Air Arabia and Wizz are really expanding their network. So there's more opportunity out there to travel more as well.
How long are we travelling for? Given that the school holidays are there as well, are we going for longer?
People are going for around 7 days on average. Some going for a little bit less. Let's say if they're going to somewhere like the Maldives, people tend to go for around 5 nights, 5 to 7 nights on average. Other destinations that are super popular this time are Sri Lanka as well and Thailand. And Sri Lanka, people tend to go for a little bit longer, maybe 10 nights, because they like to travel around and spend a few nights in each destination as well.
Where are we on flight availability? I know you said we've got more airlines and more routes than we used to, but how booked are they?
It's busy. It's chock-a-block. But there are still some options out there. If you do some digging or get in touch with us, we can do some digging for you. If you can be a bit flexible, a day or two here or there, perhaps a bit flexible on your destination. For example, I was looking at Phuket in Thailand for a family this week, and the first option that came up was business class. Economy sold out for particular dates. So then we were like, well, why don't we look at Krabi instead on Fly Dubai? And that was available as well. So might just need to be a bit of flexibility either on dates or location as well.
Right, but it might be tricky to get the days that you want and the destination that you want.
Yeah.
What about the price of flights? What have you seen happen to the price of flights this Eid?
I've seen it increase since last year for sure, particularly on some airlines. But now that, again, we have, for example, Air Arabia has really expanded its network over the last year. You can fly to Phuket, for example, on Emirates or Air Arabia. So if the flight cost is looking too much on Emirates, then there's always that other option as well. But they are quite high. You're looking at around 4 to 5K per adult for the typical destinations. But there are some other deals out there on other airlines as well.
Are they just high for Eid and then come off a couple of weeks later, or I mean, you've got visibility into forward bookings. Do they stay high?
It depends on the destination. For destinations like Mauritius, they do tend to stay high because Emirates is the only carrier, so that flight price is quite controlled. Whereas some other airlines, they do have their flash sales as well, for example. Like Etihad's a great one to watch for flash sales. Just if you see a good deal, just book it because you don't know if it's going to come up again.
Other airlines are available. Talk to me about how much we're spending this Eid.
Typically, for a family of, say, 2 adults, 2 children, you're looking at around 22 to 25K on average for a family of 4 to go away for 5 to 7 nights.
Are we spending more this Eid than we have in other Eids?
Yes, we are. And I think that's because people can go for longer because it falls within the school holidays. People can take 7 to 10 days instead of just 5 nights, for example.
Okay, so it's the longer stretch of holiday rather than we're treating ourselves and maybe staying in a slightly nicer hotel.
Yeah, I think so. Or perhaps a bit of both. And perhaps, I think when you look at hotels that are available, there's some good availability out there. So for me, my top tip is always don't just think about the actual flight cost itself. Think about the whole thing, your flights, your hotel, what you're going to spend on food. And if the flight cost is 70%, that's fine. If you can get a great deal on a hotel, it totally balances it out for the whole value of the trip.
Getting in and out from the airport into town has stung me before as well. Tell me one thing. Coming out of COVID, we spoke an awful lot about revenge travel, and there was that massive bump in revenge travel. We no longer call it revenge travel, but the demand hasn't ceased. What's your theory as to why?
I think people are really looking for authentic experiences when they travel. I think the trend within the travel industry itself is changing. We used to go away travelling just to fly and flop, just relax on a beach and switch off.
And flop.
Which we still do. But the trend the last couple of years has really been about experiencing places in more depth and doing cultural experiences and dining with local families, for example, that kind of thing. That sort of thing is really picking up. And I think perhaps out here in the UAE, we crave that because we're away from our families and we're not in our home country for as long. So that's what we're really seeking the last couple of years.
And with higher flight prices, are we now talking about a new normal, or do you expect them to modulate when, I mean, airlines obviously are waiting to get planes, they've got backlogs, they're retrofitting, doing what they can, but we've heard from numerous airline CEOs that it's constraining where they can fly to and how they can expand. Again, what's your projection on that?
I think it kind of is the new normal. I think typically even for, I know the UAE is quite a last minute market when it comes to travel. Coming from the UK, we're so used to booking our holidays 6 to 12 months in advance, and we're just not like that here. But I do have some inquiries from people that do book, say, for October, November this year, and the flights are around the same sort of price. There's not really been a dip, to be honest.
Nikki Younger from the Travel Counsellors speaking to us this morning ahead of that Eid break about what is out there and what it's going to cost. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.